Welcome to The Explainer. So let's talk about OpenAI. These are the folks who brought us ChatGPT, right? They basically kicked off this whole AI revolution we're living through. But, and this is the crazy part, just as they hit the peak, they find themselves in the fight of their lives.
So you gotta ask, is their time at the top already over? Let's get right into it, because for a while there, OpenAI was the undisputed king of AI, no question. But now? Well, the walls are definitely closing in. The competition is getting fierce, and suddenly OpenAI has to prove all over again that they deserve to wear the crown.
All right, first up, the AI king under pressure. And for the first time since ChatGPT just exploded onto the scene, their dominance is being, seriously challenged. The pressure is on.
So who's putting the squeeze on them? Well, on one side, you've got Anthropic. Their coding tool Claude Code is making huge waves with developers. And then, of course, there's Google, the 800-pound gorilla in the room, always a powerful rival. I mean, these challengers aren't just knocking on the door, they're gaining ground fast. And that's forcing OpenAI to go on the attack.
So how does the king respond? That brings us to Sam Altman's Playbook for Growth. We're going to look at how the CEO is fighting back from the inside. And make no mistake, this isn't about playing defense. This is a full-on counterattack. Okay, so first things first, he's rallying the troops. And his first weapon? Scale. A massive, massive scale. Look at this number, 800 million. That's how many people use ChatGPT every single week. I mean, just to put that in perspective, that's more than double the population of the United States. It's just a mind-boggling foundation to build on. And remember how there was all this talk that ChatGPT's growth had stalled, that it had peaked? Well, Altman went straight to his team internally and announced that, nope, they're back. They're exceeding 10% monthly growth again. That's a huge message to send inside the company. The momentum is back. And what about that fight with Anthropic over coding tools? Well, OpenAI is hitting back, and hitting back hard. Their own coding product, Codex, just saw a staggering 50% jump in growth in a single week. According to an internal message, this happened right after they dropped a new model. So yeah, they're going right at their rival, trying to crush their momentum. And this is what's so interesting. Look at the quote from Altman's internal message to employees. This was a great week. Growth is insane. See, he's not just sharing data. By using a word like insane, he's pumping up his team. He's building this narrative that they're in a battle, and they're winning. All right, so the battle isn't just about code. It's also spilling out into the very public, very messy world of ads. And yeah, things are getting a little heated. So get this, during the Super Bowl of all places, the rivalry just exploded. Anthropic runs these commercials, basically making fun of the whole idea of putting ads inside a chatbot. It was a total jab at OpenAI. And Sam Altman, he didn't just let it slide. He went on social media and fired right back, calling their ads deceptive. Talk about a public spat. So what's OpenAI's actual plan for ads? This is the crucial part. It turns out it's way more subtle than what Anthropic was hinting at. They're starting to test them this week, and yep, they'll be clearly labeled, they'll show up at the bottom of answers, and most importantly, they will not influence what ChatGPT says. So for OpenAI, this is about adding another way to make money, not about, selling out the product. Okay, so you've got this internal push for insane growth. You've got these public fights. What is it all building towards? Well, it's all pointing to one absolutely monumental goal. $100 billion. That's the potential new valuation OpenAI is aiming for in its next fundraising round. It's a staggering number. And let's be clear, this isn't just about paying for nice offices. $100 billion is the war chest you need to buy the insane amount of computing power required to train the next generation of AI. This is a bet on total domination. And who's going to front that kind of cash? Well, they're talking to the absolute biggest names in tech. We've already got Microsoft and NVIDIA in on the first part of this round, but now reports say Amazon is in talks to throw in up to $50 billion, and SoftBank might put in another $30 billion. I mean, the scale of this whole thing is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around. Which, of course, brings us to the big question. Is this real momentum or just a mirage? Is all this frantic activity a sign of real, sustainable growth that's actually worth $100 billion?
Or is it just a short-term show for investors before the big fundraise?
I mean, just look at what they've been doing lately. Back in December, they basically declared a code red to make ChatGPT better. Just last week, boom, a new Codex model, then another boom, a standalone app for Macs, and this week, they're getting ready to launch an updated chat model and they're officially testing ads. This is a company in absolute overdrive. The pace is just incredible.
So, where does this all leave us? The AI race is accelerating faster than ever before. Can OpenAI turn all this aggressive action into a lead that no one can break? Here's the thing. They are fighting back, and they are fighting back hard on every single front. But in a world this competitive, with rivals this powerful, their time as the one single undisputed king of AI, that's over. The race for what's next is now wide open.